The name of this hexagram is pronounced as SUI. What is SUI? Let's check out its composition. It has Zhen trigram at lower position and Dui trigram at upper position. We know Zhen is the thunder, Dui is the lake. So the image of SUI hexagram is the thunder in the middle of the lake. Sui in Chinese means to follow. How do we relate the sui to follow with this image of the thunder in the middle of the lake? I made a presentation on all 8 trigrams. Let's take a look on the table of trigrams. Here we listed all 8 trigrams. Zhen and Dui were highlighted. You can see that Zhen, the thunder, has the attribute as initiative. Dui, the lake, has the attribute of joyful. The combination of initiative moves and joyful feelings make a perfect time to follow. How? Please look at the last row of the table. Zhen is the elder son, which is a lower trigram. Dui is the younger daughter, which is the upper trigram. Together, it's a picture of the younger daughter piggybacking on the elder son. She's following her big brother everywhere. Therefore, this hexagram with Zhen at the bottom and Dui on top was named Sui, which is to follow. King Wen of Zhou made a judgment on this Sui hexagram as it's no blame to follow with good communication and integrity. Here, as the ruler of Zhou dynasty, King Wen was the big brother here. He was the one that had been followed. So for him, the judgment would be it's no blame to be followed with good communication and integrity. In ancient Chinese language, a verb does not distinguish its active voice or passive voice. Therefore, the name of this hexagram, Sui, really means to follow or to be followed in English. To my understanding, this judgment is for big brother and also for young daughter, for both people who are following and who are followed. For most people who are following, it is important to follow the correct leader, the leader with integrity. For leaders who are followed, it is important to lead with integrity. Both sides should have good communication. This judgment is positive, addressed what we should do under Sui hexagram. It implies that if there's no good communication or no integrity, both the follower or the followed would be blamed. Now let's go to the line comments. Sui hexagram has balanced number of yin lines and yang lines. Here we have 3 yang lines and 3 yin lines. The initial line of Sui is a yang line. It is the beginning of Sui hexagram. The comment says, it's time to make changes. To follow the right thing will be good. Broad communication leads to success. At the start point of Sui hexagram, when a person starts to follow someone or to be followed by others, it's time to make some changes. So for those who are following someone, have to find the right person to follow. For those leaders, who are followed have to seek the right followers. For all of us human beings, all of us, we have to follow the movements of the sky and the ground. That explains to follow the right thing. Here, broad communication means open communication with no prejudice, no stereotypes, so that the followers understand leaders and the leaders know the followers. If we just do that, we will be success. This comment basically told us what to do to start the SUI, to start to follow. The second line of SUI hexagram is an inline. Duke of Zhou made the comment as to follow the people below but lost connections to the one above. Basically, it simply told us the second line is right above the initial yang line but still far away from the yang line at fourth position above. So it cannot connect to the yang line above, but it can connect to the yang line below at initial position. There's no way to make both connections. Of course, the yang line was impersonated in the comment. That explained this comment to follow the people below but lost connections to the one above. That's all. The comment did not say what it's all about. It is good or bad. Did not make suggesting what to do. My understanding is that we just follow someone who is followable, follow someone in our reachable connections, because we are in SUI hexagram. We are moving in joyful mood. So go ahead, follow someone, even though it is an initial yang line, like an unexperienced city commissioner. By doing so, we may not gain a lot, we may not get hurt either. The third line of SUI hexagram is also an inline. The comment is similar to the one on previous line but longer. To follow the people above but lost the connections to the one below, so that it will get what it seeks, better stay home and keep integrity. The first sentence is the opposite of the comment on line 2, because line 3 is right below the fourth yang line but far away from the initial yang line below. It is saying that yang lines are impersonated. Therefore, on line 3 is to follow the people above but lost the connection to the one below. However, the comment continues so that we'll get what it seeks. Better stay home and keep integrity. Why? Line 2, to follow the people below, to follow less experienced person, less powerful person, would not gain, would not lost. But line 3, to follow the people above, to follow more powerful person, one would get what he or her asked for. The followed person on line 4 would not refuse the request from the follower below on line 3. That explains the comment, so that we'll get what it seeks. It further warned us what to do with that gains got from the person above. The comment is straightforward. Better stay home and keep integrity. That is, keep whatever you got for yourself and do not do something bad. Do not show off and go to Las Vegas. The fourth line of SUI hexagram is a yang line. Now we are deep in SUI hexagram. The fourth line is the first line of Dui trigram. Here's the comment. It's dangerous that the followed gained, but leading with integrity and bringing the light on the way will be able to avoid such a danger. Obviously, this comment is for the leader who was followed. Line 4 yang line was followed by line 3 yin line. Comment on line 3 says one will get what it seeks. Here the comment on line 4 started as it's dangerous that the followed gained. If line 3 did not do the right things with what it gained, it would pose the danger to itself as well as to line 4, who was followed by line 3 and offered the gift to line 3. I noticed line 4 does not declare control over line 3. The relationship between the followed leader and the following people quite voluntary, not forceful. This is definitely not for the monarchy. Duke of Zhou also gave the solution to mitigate such a danger in his comment. The leader leading with integrity and bring light on the way will be able to avoid such a danger. Here, we do not need a further explanation. The fifth line of SUI hexagram is a yang line. It is the peak of SUI hexagram and in the middle of Dui trigram. Dui is a lake, is joyful. Therefore, at the peak of SUI, at the peak of the process of following, we are totally joyful. The comment on this line is short. It's good to be sincere and kind. How could it be bad? We are joyfully following the good leaders who is sincere and kind. The leader at line 5 yang line has the supreme power. However, if the powerful leader were not sincere, not kind, it would not be good. The top yin line of SUI hexagram is at the ending stage of SUI to follow. The followers started leaving. In order to keep the followers, the king had to use force. The comment on top line is, forcefully keep the followers to follow. The king made sacrifices at Western Mountain. At the time of Zhou dynasty, there's a mountain called Ji Mountain, which sits at the western side. King sacrificed at this mountain to show his sincerity. The sacrificial rites could only be used in ancient state. What we can learn from it in our modern time is that the leaders should show their topmost sincerity to keep their followers supporting their leadership. SUI hexagrams is the time of follow, either to follow or to be followed. We see there are 3 yang lines and 3 yin lines. From the line comments made by Duke of Zhou, it was found yang lines are mostly for the people to be followed. Yin lines are mostly for the people to follow. In other words, yang lines are for the leaders, yin lines are for the followers. One person in reality can be a leader at some time, also can be a follower at the other time. No matter a leader or a follower, sincerity is very important in such a followership relation. It is true 5,000 years ago. It is still true for our time, for now. This leading or following relation is SUI hexagram. It can be applied between individuals. It also can be applied among nations. At the largest scale, it can be applied to the whole humanity, whole human beings among the tri-list relation of the sky, the ground, and the human of the universe. It seems our human beings could follow the ground at line 2, follow the sky at line 3. But how can human beings lead the sky, lead the ground at line 1, line 4, or line 5? To my understanding, the human beings are an active participant in the tri-list relationship among the sky, the ground, and the human. While the changes of the sky and the ground influence the evolution of human beings, the activities of human beings also influence the sky or the ground. The fate of human is not totally controlled by some other forces, either natural forces or supernatural forces. But the fate of human is a result of human activities interacting with the sky or the ground. Therefore, the fate of the human is under the control by ourselves. I'm talking about the human on the largest scale. That is, our human beings should collectively make the good moves for the best result of our future interacting with the sky and the ground. Good luck to ourselves. Bye.